In today's breaking story, Trump's Justice Department just revolted all over this. That's right, every day more and more people continue to stand up to Donald Trump's authoritarian agenda. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avaloon here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, as I was saying, Trump is a maniac with no regard for the law. And now Republicans are about to suffer the consequences.
This notion that Republicans are coasting right now and the wind is beneath the sails of Donald Trump is just not borne out by what's really going on the ground. And you can see it just today that Joni Ernst is not going to run for re-election in Iowa. She is someone who is very popular. She's talked about for leadership roles. Suddenly, she's not going to run. And what's really interesting is earlier in the week, there was a special election in Iowa State House, a seat that went with Trump 11.5 points, 20 point swing in the other direction, and now the Democrat has broken the Republican supermajority. The polling on the generic ballot has Democrats up 5 to 8 points. Mike Johnson, and God bless him that he keeps going out there and doing media. He was embarrassed on our air with Bill Malugin and Dana this morning talking about crime in Republican states. And he was on CNN, and John Berman says to him, you know, what are you going to do? The BBB is hugely unpopular. He says, oh, well, the provisions aren't. And then John Berman reads out the provisions, cutting SNAP, cutting Medicaid, tax cuts for the rich, all underwater. That is what the midterms are going to be about. It's not looking that peachy for Republicans.
So in other words, you're saying the DNC and this Ken Martin, who's kind of like the Barney Fife of Democratic leadership here, he's the outlier. And really, you're saying things are going well,
no,
but
I'm
this
saying
whole thing is
that
performative?
to go back to what Greg was saying, where you have 0% of Democrats that are happy with how it's going, they're going to show up and vote. That's what it's partisanship. It's pure partisanship. They will show up to oppose the Republicans and the Republican agenda, which is going to hurt everyday Americans.
As they embrace the pro-crime.
And there's a good reason why people revolt against Donald Trump. I mean, his agenda is literally risking our health, our well-being, everything.
I think that, well, first I want to say one thing in response to something Dan said. So I think that an important thing to ask the secretary is, has he been ever briefed by a CDC expert on anything, specifically measles, COVID-19, flu? I think that people should ask him that in that hearing.
What would the answer to that
one.
be?
So the answer is no. So no one from my center has ever briefed him on any of those topics.
Really?
So I don't know where he's getting his, really.
No one has ever briefed him
So
on any of those issues that you just mentioned there, including measles, given the outbreak in the United States right now?
He's getting information from somewhere. Yeah, he's getting information from somewhere, but that information is not coming from CDC experts, who really are the world's experts in this area. Like, folks from around the world call us with questions around these infections. And we are seen as the expert. CDC is seen as the expert in these areas.
And now Trump's Justice Department just revolted over this. Take a look at today's top story. President Trump is now facing a full-scale revolt inside his own Justice Department. According to a bombshell Washington Post report, the attorneys Trump reassigned to his so-called Sanctuary Cities Enforcement Task Force have all quit. Every single one. At the time of the reassignment, they were given an ultimatum: take the move or resign. Some accepted, but as of this week, the last remaining attorney has walked away for good. 6 months later, the entire group is gone. Why? Because they quickly realized the assignment was a sham. These seasoned DOJ lawyers were stripped of meaningful cases and told to perform busy work, Google searches, and menial research instead of actually litigating high-profile lawsuits. The point wasn't to enforce the law, it was to sideline anyone the Trump administration viewed as disloyal. Bonnie Robin Vergeer, the former chief of the Civil Rights Division's appellate section, quit after just 6 weeks. She told the Post, "The assignment was a sham. We did very little." Stacey Young, president of Justice Connection, explained it bluntly. The administration wanted these leaders gone, but firing them outright risked lawsuits and headlines. So instead, Trump's DOJ devised a backdoor purge, sending them into a bureaucratic black hole until they gave up. Even more explosive, the reassignments happened just before Attorney General Pam Bondi took over, skirting federal rules that would have blocked such moves under a new appointee. This is nothing short of a revolt inside Trump's Justice Department, high-ranking lawyers walking away in protest, exposing a system rigged to replace career attorneys with political loyalists. The Justice Department is supposed to enforce the law, not purge it. Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.